Pokopia is the highest rated Pokemon game of all time, and I completely get why. You got this multiple biome, overwhelming ass world. The gameplay is a beautiful mix of Animal Crossing, Minecraft, and Dragon Quest builders. But low-key even better because that's a fucking Charmander. And you don't understand the nostalgic deadlock Pokemon has on me. I may be bad and stupid, but I'm serious about Pokemon. It's a game with such a comfy, laid-back atmosphere that you can't help but just sit in the quiet stillness and, you know, really smell the flowers. But that's the thing, I think, at least for me... Oh, good morning, bud. You wanna go? We're going? Okay. Hold up, sorry. Y'all know Pokemon. I think, for me, from the trailers and a lot of the beginning of the game, this, like, comfort is sort of, like, expected. But what I wasn't ready for was this cute little cozy Pokemon side game to move me to tears. It's fucking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon all over again. The more I uncovered about this world and its lore, the more super effective those emotions got. Like, why am I bawling my eyes out like it's the Butterfree episode over a lighthouse? Which I'll explain later. But point is, Pokopia is much more than just a cozy game. But remember, this is not a review. I don't make reviews, I talk about shit I like. And this is some shit that I like. So if you're in the mood for a passionate yap, let me tell you a little bit about Pokopia, aka the most heartbreaking Pokemon game. Huh. Fully modeled. Nice. Anyway, what's up? It's me, your favorite shitty internet roommate. I think before I can get to all the real emotional pathos of this game, let me set the table. Because that stuff only hits harder when you have the genuine sucker punch, of being so engrossed you don't see it coming at all. The way this game's tone, like, progresses as you play is really masterful. You start the game thinking you're just on another Animal Crossing style comfy adventure. Cut some trees down for wood. Dive in the water and search for treasure. Destroy literally everything with your bare hands. With an apocalyptic twist. It's on some Wall-E shit, but instead of the robots fixing the ruined world, it's Ditto and their friends. But despite being a post-apocalypse, it's not really grim at first. So even if there are hints to maybe something more darker going on, the end of the world is just not gonna kill my whimsy. I will catch a vibe. The relaxing atmosphere and cheerful energy and my love for Pokemon just had me joyfully ecstatic to help wherever I could. I was frolicking in the sunshine and rainbows of this dead world. What? We can't find the humans? No. That's a hole. We're learning mechanics, we're slowly bringing some of the Pokemon back, we're making new friends and working together to revive this environment. I think being able to work together directly with the other Pokemon adds a deeper connection to them versus just like a typical villager or something. And again, because of my nostalgic chain to Pokemon, I feel so much more endeared to these guys. These aren't my workers or villagers, these are my children. And much like a father of children or pets, a lot of my time in game was spent just taking pics of the Pokemon. I feel like a dude doing like a nature documentary, observing them as they live their life and chilled in the world. Like, look at the way Froakie sleeps. Whoever on the team was in charge of choosing these sleeping animations, give him a raise. Infinite cold pillow. Make him a statue, I don't know. His hand is on his belly, so you know he ate well. The little thing on his nose that blows up as he snores. Do you think he knows that he's like the most precious thing in the world? I hope the dev is getting some crazy top. Larvitar sits on his butt and sleeps. Maybe we don't need a battle Pokemon. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk to you about the Pokemon Liberation. And you can even play games with them, like Bulbasaur, who plays jump rope with his Vine Whip. And the more numbers you gather, the more Pokemon will show up and start cheering you on. And sometimes they'll just give you gifts, because you are awesome. You're the reason I breathe. Your smile literally illuminates my life. And you're the reason that I keep going. You're the reason that I get up every day and I don't stop, and I look to the sky with a smile. I met bruh yesterday. Tell me why Volbeat is throwing ass. Why is Volbeat throwing ass? Someone needs to tell me why Scyther is literally trying to chat up Vespiquen right now. No, you gotta give Scyther his respect. There's not a lot of bug types out there who can chat up a queen like that. She's not just one of the highest bugs on this island, she's one of the highest bugs in the colony. A lot of dudes would pay to be in Scyther's position right now, so you gotta give him the respect for being able to just talk his way there. Things are just getting crazier on this island every day. I think this is gonna change the whole dynamic of the island. Watching them makes you wanna savor all those little mundane moments outside of just doing the main story. They spend their time just appreciating flowers, chasing each other, taking naps. It had me on a daily basis just being like, man, I wish Pokemon was real. Nah, man, like I wish Pokemon was real. Man, like imagine if it was real. Yo. And you just kind of live in this comforting, upbeat tone for a while. We got this place humid. We rebuilt the PC. We threw a party. We brought so many new friends back together. The hope core is so high right now. They went to space. The humans went to space. The humans went to space. We couldn't live on the Earth anymore. We couldn't live on the Earth anymore. The humans went to space. We couldn't live on Earth anymore. We couldn't bring the Pokemon. We couldn't bring the Pokemon. We left them alone. We left them alone. We left them alone. We've been in space for 100 years. Probably more. Probably more. Probably more. Probably more. We haven't seen any of them. They haven't seen us. They're still looking for us. We're all dead. We're all dead. We're all dead. We're all Okay, so all that stuff needed to be said so you understood just where you were, the high that you were on, the comfort level you were at before everything started to just hit, comprehend, and crash down. For starters, this game has a lot of environmental storytelling, and sometimes it genuinely fucked me up. For me, it started with the look of the world. Pokopia is obviously a post-apocalypse where all the humans are gone, but that has allowed plant life and nature to thrive more freely. It kind of reminds me of that time during COVID when everyone was inside and then like nature just started to bloom more and animals started to like roam streets and shit. And what that does is create this really contrasting feeling where you're living in the comfort of a bygone world. There's so many of these empty, abandoned, ruined liminal spaces that once had life. Office areas that once had workers. Homes that once had families. Or restaurants that once had customers. Places that were once filled with noise of laughter and life now are silent, only momentarily broken by the sound of the hollow wind. The world ended, but it's past the point of being urgent or dire. It's more bittersweet and quiet. It's lonely and nostalgic, but somehow tranquil and beautiful. It's a quiet apocalypse or a peaceful apocalypse. There's not too many other things that capture this similar kind of vibe. The only thing I could really think of is manga/anime OVA. It's called Yokohama Kadaishi Kiko, which also explores a world after disaster, where the only few left live in the everyday stillness, appreciating the nature. Even if at times it's a reminder of what once was. But it hits especially hard for me as a longtime Pokemon fan, because environmentalism has always been a huge theme in Pokemon. The idea of living in harmony with nature and Pokemon, fighting villains who want to control that nature. But in those prior games, it was always in the perspective of preventing the disaster or ruin from happening. Doing what we can to help nature and the world from ending. And I think for that time it made a lot of sense. But in this game, in 2026, that's changed. The story's different now. Here, we already failed. We didn't stop the end. The world as we knew it is gone. And we are simply walking in the remains. And so the question of the game becomes, how do we rebuild? How do we even find hope again? And I really appreciate that tone and that storytelling for a Pokemon game in a modern time. I think it reflects a lot of the feelings and what's happening in the world right now. And all of this is furthered as you learn more of the story and lore from piecing together letters and notes and items. It's just like Dark Souls! Once you piece it together, you come to find a very tragic but hopeful whole. The way that some of these letters fucked me up, man. And completely out of nowhere too. Imagine me, I'm living it up. I'm going from Graveler to jumping to then transforming into D-Knight to then dropping into the water and becoming Lapras. I'm moving like Prime Ben 10. Then I'll come across a letter that is just disclosing some absolutely guttural, tear-jerking, devastating ass info, and that like makes me rethink the whole context of the game. Like even the letters that are the very simple ones that are just kind of reflecting the everyday life of the time before everything ended will, with the added context, make me feel some type of way. Like take something like this. Today I played with Kenta in the park. Kenta says he's gonna move soon, but he'll come back when he's older. We promised to play in the park again together when we grow up. They will never play again. They might be dead. On their own, these are just some random passages of text and don't really hold a lot of emotional value for me. But in this world, in this context, that shit is tragic to me. And again, this is the lighter stuff. But I think for me, when these emotional beats start hitting the hardest is when they start poking at that nostalgic core that I have for this series. Through these notes and little environment details, you find out that these locations that you're rebuilding from devastation are cities from Kanto. We're in Kanto. And like, I'm not even a Gen 1er. Like, my top regions are the Hoenn, Johto, Unova. But finding these old remains of Saffron City or Pewter City, or even the old badges that used to mean so much, but now in this context, they're just relics. That affected me. I need you to understand just how caught off guard I was by this. Slowly, I was discovering how much I apparently give a shit about Kanto. When I found the outfits for Red and Blue, and I read the lore about them, you can pause and read them if you like. They aren't written to be like sad or like emotionally pulling, you know? They're very like standard lore tidbits, you know? But let me read you the thoughts I had with them. I'm reading these very standard entries on Red and Blue, and I couldn't help but to feel sad reading them. Just thinking about, you know, I played those games. I experienced that journey. So hearing about how Red and Blue, who used to be champs, and you know, when I played those games back then, beating gyms, getting to the Elite Four, beating the champion, becoming the champion, it felt like the most important thing in my life, or I guess my character's life. That's what the whole game was about. And so reading this as just a lost and forgotten note, in a dead world, it was painfully sad for me. I kept thinking, wow, how much time has passed, how things have changed. It made all those super important goals of those games feel so small. Who cares about being champ when the world is burning around you? Damn, I'm good. I see why y'all watch me. Subscribe.
Who's that Pokemon?
Here's a really cool transition. Please pay attention to the name of the song that's gonna play in the background in this next section, okay? I'm doing a kickflip during the whole ad read. I am that cool. Anyway, Arknights Endfield is a 3D real-time strategy RPG. It's got cool anime girls in it too. You can get it on PS5, PC, and mobile. And you can download this game completely for free. It's a game with a whole bunch of cool stuff in it. You can experience real-time combat, world exploration, and a very in-depth building system. I really like how robust it is. You're out here making like full-on production lines. I really feel I'm in complete control of the world and the production of it. You also have a very fun strategic combat system. I've always been a big fan of real-time battles like these, and Endfield's system really allows me the ability to experiment with how I want to approach these fights. I was also constantly taken aback by how stunning the environments are. Look at the sky here, or the sweeping vista here. You get it, it's a beautiful game with a whole bunch of stuff in it. But I'm telling you about it because there's a new update going live on the 17th of April, which is the At the Wake of Spring update. It's got more maps coming, new events, new gameplay content, and of course the new playable operator with her fast electric based attacks, and she even has a cool ult form. And most namely, a new multi-phase boss fight. She's got powerful attacks. You need to find out unique mechanics to deal with her. A boss fight that I think will really show off this game's ability to make great real-time squad combat while also showing off the game's cinematic qualities. And once again, this game is completely free to download. Whether you're playing PlayStation 5, PC, or mobile, you can join in on this latest update by clicking on the link in the description, pinned comment, or there might be a link that pops up at the top of the screen. And you know you can believe me on this game's looks, because look, I'm literally here doing kickflips. Thank you, Arknights Endfield. Back to the video. I didn't know that my nostalgia can ache this deep. I didn't know I felt this much for Pokemon. Like in real time, I was finding out just how core Pokemon is to me. I went from not knowing if Kanto mattered that much to me to crying at the SSN. And you know, speaking of that SSN, if you'll allow me, I think the best way that I could fully translate to you the power of this game's pathos through using nostalgia is to talk about the area this SSN is in, which is Bleak Beach, or as we used to know it, Vermillion City. This is my favorite area in the game, and not because of any gameplay reasons or mechanics or anything like that, but because I feel Bleak Beach is where all the emotional beats of this game can and do hit the hardest. As I said before, I had been feeling tugs at my emotions, but it was here where the wall completely came down. I almost can't explain it, and I know that's some like real video essayist shit to say, but I mean it. This area a few times had me in tears off just vibes and lore alone. And that has to say something about the pathos of this game. I'm also a little bitch. It was weirdly immediate. Like as soon as I walked in here and I heard this, just this very melancholic guitar ballad, I knew or I felt something about this place was different. Or more, I feel like I got hit with just this wave of deep sorrow. And then you get these panning shots of the area. And of course, it's empty, it's desolate as any other place has been. But for some reason, it never felt as potent as it feels here. I found it hard to be cheerful like I was in other areas. Here, I could only feel this sense of longing and loss. And the more I explored, the more vulnerable I got. The homes aren't just destroyed, they're flooded. There's a constant gloomy overcast in the sky. Litter and mud is surrounding the place. And I remember taking all this in, and then I found this magazine. It was an old article explaining how it was Vermillion City's 4th time winning most livable city. So now I for sure knew where I was, Vermillion City, but now I was way more familiar with what I lost. Reading an article highlighting the livability of a city as it's like this now, there's something so fucking ironically fucking sad or tragic, whatever fucking cinnamon I looked up on the Google. Dual barrel roll. I legit started welling up with emotion. And the more I explored and the more I learned, the more impactful it got. Again, I did not know I gave this much of a shit about the SSN. But seeing it here, destroyed, nothing but a relic of its time. The inside is completely empty and in rubble. And it's not just like, oh, there were people once here who filled this room or this boat. I was here. And there's a lot of emotional moments to be found here. But what I think cut through me in a way I never expected was this lighthouse.
All of my lectures.
So I already knew that this was Vermillion City. So when I saw this, my thought was, I don't remember Vermillion City having a lighthouse. And as I walk up to this lighthouse, I find a letter and I read it. And at first I'm like, oh, who's Kenzo? Should I know who that is? But then I read Machamp. When these wires in my brain that have not sparked in a couple years connected, I felt like I was having a fucking brain blast. Kenzo is the old man that had the Machop in the first ever Pokemon games in Vermillion City, who was trying to make a building. And do you know how many remakes we've had of Kanto? And that building was never finished. The storyline with it has never been progressed. But here it is. We're talking about like 30-year-old lore here. This is lore that's older than me, that's just been paid off. That old man and his Machop, who then evolved into a Machamp, made this lighthouse. And the way they frame him in this interview, you get the idea that Kenzo is a local legend and this lighthouse is important to Vermillion City and the people of it. It probably lit the way for the SSN to get home safer. But just in that very moment, as I was loving this discovery and like feeling my heart being warmed, it suddenly hit me that this building's lights don't shine for anyone anymore. This is now just another forgotten building in a forgotten town. And I was devastated all over again. There were so many talks and theories about what's happening with this building for like years. I didn't even remember this guy's name until I read this. And suddenly I was there crying over a 30-year-old side character plot. Man, I love Pokemon. But also, and probably most namely, the Pokemon love us. All throughout this experience, despite all the different tones and feelings I had, the consistent thing I found is the love between people and Pokemon. And you start the game and there's so much hope core. We're vibing, we're rebuilding, and then you pick up these notes, you pick up these letters, and the tragedy of the situation starts to become clear. I vividly remember the first time I read Hacker's Confession 6. My heart fucking sinked reading this shit. Besides learning, the lore and like what's going on in the world, humans are in space, Pokemon in the PC, and that PC is constantly looking for suitable environments for the Pokemon to release them in, for whenever the humans come back. It's the fact that this hacker had the consideration for Pokemon that he made it so if the humans never come back and the machine dies, that it will release the Pokemon into the best environments that they can find, instead of just leaving them stuck in a PC forever, as he felt that the Pokemon would appreciate that more. And the last line of this letter really cements it. It may sound strange coming from the program's creator, but I hope it never has to run. Their love and care for Pokemon is far more important than any program they could have created. Or how about the fact that you can find letters from Ditto, aka your player character's actual trainer? And you guessed it, they're fucking sad. They talk about how we were so curious of humans and how the connection we had with them allowed them to even transform into them, but also shows the bond we had with our trainer. Like when I read that after dropping us off, he wanted to go explore all the places we ever went to one last time. Like specifically reading the line that he felt like he needed to do this. We aren't just a player character, we were someone's Pokemon. We were someone's friend. I just got back from depositing my partner Pokemon in the PC at the Pokemon Center. We spent every day together. Being separated like this is so hard, but I know we'll meet again someday. Bro, I didn't think we'd even get any kind of lore on our past trainers. That wasn't even a thought in my head, let alone that I'd be fucking crying about it. We spend the entire game trying to bring the humans back in any way we can. Just constantly hoping if we do this or make this, that maybe it'll call our old friends back to us. There's this constant feeling of yearning between the Pokemon and the humans. And that's heartbreaking, but also, especially with how the game ends, it ropes back into being hopeful again. Of all people, Team Rocket, by their own choice, blasts off again. But this time, to save the day. We see a human in their space pod with a Ditto plush. The humans never forgot their friends. And even though we've been apart for probably centuries, humans still love Pokemon. And Pokemon still love humans. And so the thing that we give that human in space is a cherished photo. Our picture smiling back at them is such a reassuring and hopeful ass sentiment. Which is why I think that it's kind of always been a thing that Pokemon are an allegory for nature. And thus the connection of humans and Pokemon is really humans to nature. And I think a lot of other post-apocalyptic media tends to deliver this humans to nature message in a lot more of a cynical way. That it hates us or that we're just not important in the grand scheme of things. That whether we're here or not, nature will eventually grow without us. And that's okay, but I like that Pokopia tries to say something different. Pokopia asks, what if nature doesn't hate you? What if it knows that you're a part of it too? What if nature gives back the love and care that you give to it? What if nature needs your kindness? What if by being like the humans in this game who did, what they could to give back to these Pokemon that they love, then maybe nature can give back to you by giving us a more beautiful home. The Pokemon or nature in this game miss us in our absence. They miss us so much that at the end of the world, regardless of what caused it, they don't look back at us vindictively or as insignificant. They need us and they hope we come back. They're curious about the things we love and the things we made. So much so they build it again, just hoping it brings us back. It feels like this game is saying that without humans, this world is a much more lonely and less beautiful place. I'd like to think that our love and care for Pokemon is why they care about us so much. I think this game is saying that our connection to nature is imperative to the happiness and beauty of the world. I think any way that we can help, even if it's small, is ultimately worth it. So I thought maybe it'd be appropriate to help nature in this planet any way you can. If maybe you want to plant a tree, then I throw up a link. It'll probably show up here or in my description. And maybe little by little we can help to give back to this place that we call home. I think these themes beautifully work with this game's gameplay. The humans in this game left things to help Pokemon, and now those Pokemon, as we are playing them, are helping the humans by rebuilding their world. To build a society full of life, happiness, shelter for everyone, and hope, it takes care and a lot of hard work to create that. But somehow, seeing Pikachu smile when I bring back one of their friends, or Meowth peacefully sleeping in the bed I made them that they asked for, or share in that communal joy of making a little party for everyone, it makes all that hard work completely worth it. Anxiety and tensions are at an all-time high, I feel, so it's hard to have hope in times like these. But I think this game's message is, at least I needed it, and I hope others felt that too. We're all under these same gloomy skies. So coming together, building strong connections and community, I think we can find our blue sky again, and that hope that we so desperately need. In the midst of the world literally burning at my feet, within me I found Thank you all so much for deciding to light your bonfire on this little corner of the internet. If you like what you saw today, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a like and a subscribe. I'm working towards a goal of getting 500,000 subscribers. And honestly, doing all this like really cool editing green screen stuff, it doesn't really further me in the algorithm. So there isn't really a lot of benefit to me putting in as much effort in this as I do. But if you want to help me in my boss battle against the algorithm to keep growing, you can help with that just by leaving comments. Comments are a great way to show the algorithm that like this video has motion. If it doesn't take too much of your time, I'd really appreciate it. Comment down your thoughts on Pokopia and tell me which is your favorite sleeping animation. And if you really care about my stuff and you want to see more of it, I have a bunch of more videos on my Patreon. You can join that as little as $3. Or if you are like insane and you really fuck with this, then you can be like these beautiful ass people. These are my pit stoppers, aka my highest tier on Patreon. At my highest tier, you get all the benefits from the previous tiers, but also you get a pixel art character that shows up throughout the videos. And actually, we gained a few new members, so I want to give them a quick little shout out. First off, we got a goated pit stopper right here, Supersize the Fries, or Fries for short. And for their request, all they asked for was to basically make their OC from Mabinogi into a pixel art. And I think our pixel artist did a beautiful job with that. I think this is a great addition to our chill little home. Then we got this spooky gremlin dude. This is our boy Currendor, who asked for this pink skeleton with a cool black cape. Again, I say this a lot about some of these, but this really reminds me of like I could totally see this guy being a main character that you play as in like an indie Metroidvania. Next up, we got our boy, your favorite NPC, who kept it simple. He just asked for Kazuma from Konosuba, and I love the way it came out. So shout out to my boy NPC. And then finally, we got Patrick Trainer, another simple but cool as fuck one. Patrick Trainer just asked for Gene Starwind. I got a guy over here who has a Spike from Cowboy Bebop. And now I got Gene Starwind. I just need someone to pop in here and make a Trigun pixel art. And then we got the trifecta. Once again, if you want to be a part of this little family we got going on here at the end of all videos, you can do that at my highest tier on Patreon. But with all that being said, I want to thank you so much for coming to this little pit stop on the corner of the internet. Peace.